Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the homie Maverick. Hey, man, make sure I go subscribe to the homie channel. Run them likes up, the views up, the comments up, subscribers up over there on his channel. And without further ado, let's get right into it. This is the most underrated matches of every WrestleMania since 2000. Now, the last time Maverick did this, I think he did the best and worst matches of each WrestleMania since 2000. So, yeah, this should be an interesting one. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
What's going on, unit? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Maverick, bringing you back to yet another list video. Today, we're going to talk about the most underrated matches of every WrestleMania since 2000. I figure since we are about a weekend away from WrestleMania, less than a week, actually, at the time I'm recording this.
I might do a playoff and WrestleMania predictions video this week. So yeah, keep your eyes on that one.
We are going to celebrate yet another year of WrestleMania by looking at past manias. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try to blitz through this as fast as we can, because I know I can get long-winded when I can talk about these, and we got a lot of material to cover because we're doing every single one since 2000. So that's over 25 years worth of WrestleManias we're about to witness come next weekend. So, but yeah, man, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. You know, it's free to join the E unit. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Remember, make your own list if you disagree. For WrestleMania 16, aka WrestleMania 2000, the most underrated match on here is the two-fall triple threat match for the European and Intercontinental Championships between Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit.
I agree. This is super underrated. Super underrated. Even with Mr. CTE, man, super underrated.
And Chris Jericho. And I feel like this match doesn't get enough shine because of what card it's on, but for the amount of ring work that these guys did throughout this triple threat match, man, phenomenal stuff. It's the reason why 2/3 of these men would be considered part of the SmackDown 6, because their work rates were as high as the times they debuted. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to give these three icons in the ring their flowers, man. WrestleMania X7. My pick here is going to be the hardcore triple threat match. Reason why? It was like a nice nod to ECW, knowing that Vince bought them out prior to this event, so it was a nice nod. Plus, a lot of spots like this, freaking amazing. The lights almost went out in the arena because of this match. And then one of my favorite spots was when Big Show had Kane by the throat, and then Kane just ripped Big Show's throat, and Big Show's eyes went up, like the look on Big Show's face. Stuff of comedy, man. Kane won through a flying elbow drop off the stage. That was also pretty cool too. Anyways, WrestleMania 18. A lot of people say this is a one-match show. I clearly disagree, because even though this match should have been the main event, I will argue that the main event itself is one of the most overhated matches of all time. Probably because, you know, they could have placed it higher, but I still feel like this match wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good.
It wasn't bad. It just got overshadowed. But to put it in perspective, it wasn't a bad match. It's just overshadowed, and the story behind it.
Ass. 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 Ass.
The story, the build up, just we could have did better. Jericho had so much good momentum going into WrestleMania. He beat Rock, he beat Austin. Now he's going into WrestleMania as a champ. You got Triple H as his opponent. Okay, cool. What was the purpose of Stephanie?
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
You could have just let them two tell the story. It's for the championship. There was no need for Stephanie at all.
But it had decent storytelling. We saw Chris Jericho work the leg. We saw Triple H get his get back on Stephanie. You know, the thing is that placing it as the last match was did more harm than good because The Rock and Hulk Hogan took all the energy out of the crowd.
Yeah, they got overshadowed.
And Jericho still hates this match to this day. If you ask him about it, he still hates this match. Me, I still like it because it wasn't terrible. Coming at WrestleMania 19, my favorite WrestleMania of all time. The answer is simple. It's Team Angle versus Chris Benoit and Rhino versus Los Guerreros for the WWE Tag Team Championship. And I put this in here for the same reason I put the 2-fall triple threat match in WrestleMania 2000 on here. It has a pretty great work rate, you know, if you want to get down to it. Not much storyline outside of just competition amongst three SmackDown tag teams, and and it's thrown together as randomly as I felt Benoit and Rhino was. They still did pretty good here. Especially those 2 goals at the end of the match by Rhino. I thought those were pretty good. But yeah, and the right team went over. The younger guys went over. WrestleMania 20. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here. Instead of the most underrated match on here was Evolution versus Rock and Sock. You know why? Because this match is how WWE knew how to create new stars. This got Randy Orton and Batista over as, you know, new guys to pay attention to. Because by the previous year, they had just joined Evolution as they were members of Money alongside Triple H and Flair. And this is where them as a team, as a stable, were taken majorly seriously.
I agree. Even though this would be considered The Rock's last match of what would be considered his peak or prime, whichever one. I will admit that this was a great way to put Randy and Batista over.
Also, fun fact, Randy Orton was the Intercontinental Champion around this time. Triple H was the World Heavyweight. It would get to a point where all 4 of them would have the 4 main titles on Raw. Batista and Flair having no tag titles, Orton having the Intercontinental belt, and Triple H having the World Heavyweight title. And Mick Foley doing the job in front of his home crowd at WrestleMania alongside The Rock is how you build stars. You get people who are already established like Mick Foley and The Rock to put over these younger guys. But yeah, great match too. Great match. WrestleMania 21. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that out of everything on here, the opening match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio is the most underrated. I feel like, you know, a lot of the what's on this card gets overshadowed by the 2 main events and Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle and Undertaker versus Orton,
I was about to say, I mean, if we talking underrated, it's kind of tough because I ain't gonna lie, WrestleMania 21 was fire, bro. Fire. Like Batista versus Triple H, that was pretty good. Now John Cena versus JBL, that was, it's only one way I can describe it.
See how high is. Yep. We don't have a replay, but I just don't know what to make of it.
But Randy Orton versus Undertaker, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, the best match on that card. But this right here was good too.
First Money in the Bank match, but I feel like this set the tone for that great event that was WrestleMania 21, because WrestleMania 21 was one of the best.
But then again, you also had the first Money in the Bank ladder match. That first Money in the Bank shit was so good. That shit was so good, man. I'm just saying, that shit was so good. I don't know. Could it be? Yeah, WrestleMania 21 was good, man.
That's WrestleMania's all time, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? And this match set the tone pretty good early. And who doesn't love a nice high-flying luchador matchup? Like, the pace was just back and forth in this match. You couldn't ask for anything better out of these two. All right, WrestleMania 22. WrestleMania 22. This is also a work rate favorite of mine, but I actually really liked Chris Benoit losing the United States Championship to JBL. Number one, the Nazi.
I forgot the match. Yeah, I can't. I listen. The best match on this card was obviously Mick Foley and Edge. That hardcore match was crazy. But I totally forgot JBL was facing Chris Benoit for the United States title. I totally forgot about that.
That's the Eddie where peaked to me. And then number 2, Benoit is gonna be a machine regardless of who he works with, so you guarantee that. And even the finish I like because, JBL pretty much got a leverage pin, reversing Cornwell's quad space, and him holding on to the middle rope. I'm like, yes, what a perfect way for the heel to get the title. Because if Benoit would have lost clean to him, it would not have looked as good. You know what I'm saying? Besides, at this point, JBL was already one of the biggest villains on SmackDown. So if they were going to give him the belt, he had to do it in such a dirty way. Wow, Benoit wrestled clean. So yeah, still a great match work. WrestleMania 23. There was a lot of great things on here. This is also one of the better WrestleManias of all time. But I got to give the nod to Chris Benoit versus MVP. The reason why? Same as the other 2 matches. The other 3 matches I just talked about. It was.
I forgot about this match too. I forgot about this match too. I wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, totally forgot about this match. It was too much hate on this one too. This is another good ass WrestleMania too. 21, 22, 22. Like I said, from 21 to 31, straight heat. Well, no, I'll take that back. You gotta exclude 27. 27 ass. But aside from that, WWE had a really good WrestleMania run on that 21. But 23, they was knocking it out the park. But it's easy to forget about a match like this. This would easily get lost in the shuffle when we talking about WrestleMania 23. WrestleMania had too much heat to it. We talking about the Money in the Bank ladder match. They went super crazy on that one. The Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon hair for hair match with Bobby Lashley and Umaga with Stone Cold as a special guest referee. Bye. Batista and Undertaker tearing the house down. Shawn Michaels and John Cena putting on a 5-star classic. Yeah. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle on this one.
A good work rate between these 2, and Benoit helped MVP get over as a Dynamite heel. You know what I mean? And I like that it became a series between these 2 over the US belt, and come Judgment Day, Benoit would actually put MVP over. But this was a great launching point to get to that point, because remember, this is MVP's very first WrestleMania, so you got to give him kudos. You got to give him kudos for putting up with one of the greatest workers of all time in Chris Benoit, despite him losing at this one. So yeah. Kudos to MVP. Kudos. WrestleMania 24. I feel like nobody talks about this match because it's at the very beginning of the card, because the second half of the card just bombs and delivers on every part. But I really like the Belfast brawl between JBL and Philly. Now, granted, it had a weak storyline going into it, but there was a lot of carnage, a lot of great spots. You know what I'm saying?
I totally forgot about this match until I watched that WrestleMania 24 video a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. But once again, another good ass WrestleMania. Another good one. We talking about Floyd versus Big Show, Undertaker versus Edge, John Cena, Triple H, and Randy Orton. Even though that match only got like 15 minutes, but still good ass match. Yeah.
And a great usage of the weapons.
Oh, Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. Yeah, this shit can get overlooked.
And JBL will win over again, being the bastard heel that he always has been. Like, this is a great return to WrestleMania match for JBL. What better way for JBL to return?
Too bad his back was fucking up around this time.
Beat Finley. You know what I'm saying? That clothesline from hell that Finley took was vicious though in this match. So yeah. In terms of work rate, you give the Belfast Brawler time, and you give one of the biggest villains in SmackDown history time, you can cook something up, and they did. And this is like a tone. This was a tone setter for what the WrestleMania, because 24 is also one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. So Yes, kudos to JBL and good old Fit Finley for deciding to put him over. Okay, WrestleMania 25. A slightly underrated WrestleMania because it had one of the greatest matches of all time in there. It had the greatest match of all time in there. And it had also one of the best brother versus brother matches, like, ever. Dude, this beef. If that idiot didn't leak out that Christian was going to be the person that screwed over Jeff Hardy in Royal Rumble and Matt had not turned heel, we wouldn't have got this amazing, fun, spot-heavy Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, we would have got something 10 times better than that. I think we would have got something 10 times better than that. I think we would have got our Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian ladder TLC hardcore match for the tag team titles. Or they put the ECW and World Heavyweight titles on the line, and it's Edge. It's Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys, winner take all match. Man, who knows the possibilities of what that could have been if that reporter didn't leak that story, bro. That's why I say, man, reporters are the worst thing for wrestling, bro. We need to keep reporters out the wrestling business, bro. They don't need to report on anything but releases, backstage problems, or potential WWE, or not WWE, but potential investments between companies, or potential signings. But as far as, like, they need to stay out the stories. They need to stay out the creative room. Let creative cook. Let them do their thing. Stop getting involved in that. And then leaking stories talking about this is what's going to happen and this guy's going to come back. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you ruin the story? Let the story play out. Even if you know, tell us later. We don't want to hear you right now. But I digress.
Okay. There were so many good spots here. Jeff Hardy splashing Matt through 2 tables as he sandwiched. Them using a vacuum cleaner. You know what I mean? And then how the match ended was pretty awesome too, because Jeff Hardy missed a leaf or leg drop off a ladder, which allowed Matt to get up and use a twist of fate with Matt's neck through the chair. I'm like, oh my God, Jeff just broke his neck. Matt just broke his brother's neck. And for as much as this Mania gets crapped on, nobody likes to bring this up as a bright spot, but you got to give it its flowers. And you could debate over who should have won, but considering it would be a 3-match series between Matt and Jeff, I guess Matt had to win at least one of them. I still kind of wish Jeff would win, but anyway, it's still a great match. Moving on to WrestleMania 26. Everybody remembers this match mainly because of the main event, but don't nobody talk about how good Edge versus Jericho was. Was the finish sloppy? Sure, but they made up for it by having Edge spear Jericho through the barricade. So that it was the blood feud deep into the championship, but this had been the first time I'd ever cheered for Edge at any WrestleMania. Because, like, at this point, he was over as a babyface. He had just got done having Achilles surgery, and he came back in the Royal Rumble. And it didn't feel disappointing to see him lose the.
I was low-key rooting for Jericho. I kind of wanted to. I ain't forget. I was one of them few people that I didn't forget. Okay, I ain't forget what Edge did in the past. I was like, hell no. What you did to Cena, what you did to Taker, what you did to Batista, hell no. Let's go, Jericho. Come on, Jericho. I was rooting my ass off for Jericho, man. Fuck out of here. Hell no. Edge, I ain't forget shit. He's here. He's here. You think you know me? Man, no. 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 Yeah, keep getting away with it.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
Jericho at this, of course, sure. But that lick back that he had at the end because he got screwed. And then the work rate throughout the match was pretty damn good too. Like, you put Edge and Jericho in the ring, they're not going to disappoint you. So yeah, man. Great story and great match. WrestleMania 27, I know this is one.
None, nada, none. No underrated, none. This shit was ass. WrestleMania 27 was ass.
3 letters. 1 word.
Ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Throw this whole WrestleMania in the trash, bro. Aside from Triple H and Undertaker, Randy and Cody, I guess. Not Randy and Cody, but Randy and CM Punk, I guess. Throw the whole rest of their WrestleMania away, bro.
This is arguably the worst WrestleMania of all time, but for what it was worth, the most underrated match is Randy Orton versus CM Punk. Mainly because the work rate and the semi-storytelling that they told by having Randy Orton's punting leg give out on him. And I also love how this match ended. This match had one of the best RKOs ever. When CM Punk springboarded off the ropes and Randy Orton caught him. Great finish. The only people that dislike this match are toxic CM Punk fans.
Yep.
But let's be real. New Nexus CM Punk, they got the treatment that they deserve, because them guys with New Nexus, they was not ready for prime time. I was happy in 2010, 2011 when Randy started punting each and every one of the Nexus members off one by one. I was happy. You know what I'm saying? He literally punted Husky Harris out of Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying? So what more could I say? It was a blessing in disguise, and so was this match, because I believe also without this match, man, CM Punk doesn't have more room for his epic pipe bomb that nostalgic fans like to talk about. But yeah, man. Still, if you're gonna watch WrestleMania 27, don't skim past this. Okay, we can skip the Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler match, because we all know that match was moving forward. Oh, WrestleMania 28. Still one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, and one of the best in terms of buy rate. This is the most bought WrestleMania. I feel like, for what it was worth, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho doesn't get talked about enough. Like,
yeah, I would agree. That was a good ass build up to WrestleMania. It was a good ass build up to WrestleMania. It just, Rock and Cena just meant more, man. It just meant more. I had 2 of my goats going against it. I didn't really care what. It was like both of them my goats. Like, I grew up with The Rock. I started with The Rock. I grew up with Cena. So it's like I get the best of both worlds. It's like it would be like an NBA Finals between Allen Iverson and Giannis. Like, it'd be my 2 favorites going at it.
I always tell people, like, look, this WrestleMania had 3 amazing matches. The Hell in a Cell match with Taker and Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the referee. Yep. The main event with Cena on The Rock, and this match for the WWE Championship. Yep. And not just because of work rate, but I loved it because of the storytelling as well, because John Laurinaitis put that stipulation on him. Because, you know, CM Punk wants to take Jericho's head off and feed it to the dogs after what he said about his dad and his sister and his family and all that, you know. He wanted Jericho's blood, and Jericho wanted the title. And John Laurinaitis, being the dickhead that he is like, well, if you get disqualified or counted out, you're going to lose the WWE Championship to Chris Jericho. And there were so many times in the match where CM Punk will snap, and Jericho is just tempting him, like, come on, hit me, Punk. Punk, how's your father? He is just tempting him. And like the referee's like, Punk, I will disqualify you. You're going to lose your championship. Man, stuff a legend. I also like that Jericho tapped out too. Into CM Punk. I also liked that finish too, man. This is definitely hella underrated. Like, this should be in contention for one of the greatest WWE Championship matches in WrestleMania history. This right here. WrestleMania 29, another underwhelming WrestleMania, but if I had to pick a most underrated match from here, it'd be the opener between Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show versus The Shield. And the reason why, it's the same.
I don't know about this one, Maverick. This one, my name, this gonna be the one I might have to disagree with. Yeah, I might have to disagree with this one. Granted, this is The Shield's debut at WrestleMania, but at the same time, this match.
See how high he is. Yep. We don't have a replay, but Giannis don't know what to make of it.
It's mid. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. It was mid.
The same reason I had for my WrestleMania 20 pick is because this is how you established new young talent as stars.
I do.
You have them be 3 guys that are already got skin in the game, that already got status in Big Show, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. Okay, you have them beat these guys. You have them go over. You legitimize them as threats. Okay, that's how you do it when you're trying to create new stars. And in WrestleMania 30, it's literally the same thing, because guess what? I thought the Shield versus the Old Outlaws and Kane was pretty good.
All right, Maverick, you started to lose me now, bro. Like, you started to lose me. Oh no, Maverick, you started to lose me, brother. Oh no, you started to lose me, brother. I don't know about this one. I can't agree with this one. It's not like you, Maverick. You normally get this, but this ain't hidden, brother.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
It's not like you, Maverick. This was it. I'm sorry. This was it. Okay, look, at this point, the Shield was dominant, bro. That we knew the Shield was dominant. This did nothing for them. Nothing. This is arguably one of the most what's what I would look for? One of the most unimportant matches to the Shield ever. Nobody gives this match any type of in the Shield lore. Nobody talks about this match. This is the most irrelevant match of their time as a group. Nobody brings this up. Nobody. We skip straight. We go to the Wyatt family, and then we skip this match, and then we go straight to the Evolution feud. We go straight to those, and then the breakup when Seth Rollins hit Roman Reigns in the back with the chair. But this match right here, my brother, this ain't it. I'm sorry, Maverick. I'm sorry. I can't. Nah.
3 letters.
1 word.
Ass.
I'm sorry, Maverick. If you was gonna say underrated, I think it was. Yeah. Underrated. I would go Cena and Bray Wyatt. Hands down, I would go Cena and Bray Wyatt. That's underrated. This match, nah.
You know why? Because the right people got over. This is how you establish the stars, the future young stars in the Shield. They needed to look unstoppable. And as a result of this, as a result of these 2 stellar performances in Manias, one of them would go on the main event, 2 of them would go on the main event Mania. The other would have a decent main event run in I think 2017, even though he got criticized for it, but still. And you produce arguably one of the greatest of all time through good programming like this. This was great. This match may not be as memorable, but it was great booking for the Shield. It was great booking. WrestleMania 31. You know what else was great booking, but doesn't get talked about?
The last great WrestleMania they did for a while.
Not a lot. I really love Cena versus Rusev.
Yeah, I was gonna say this would be the one.
Because if this doesn't happen, if John Cena doesn't beat Rusev for the United States Championship here, we don't get that amazing stretch of John Cena's United States Championship open challenge matches that we would get every single Monday Night Raw. Up until maybe like 2016 when he would get moved to SmackDown. And a lot of people say, you know, Cena had to go to the show, but nah, he used the United States Championship to put a lot of guys over, including Kevin Owens, including Seth Rollins. I gotta give Cena his props, man. I gotta give Cena his props. He really is the GOAT. He really is the GOAT. Anyway. Plus, nobody was really liking Rusev like that anyway because of the language barrier. But anyway, WrestleMania 32 is another WrestleMania.
This where the downfall happened. Wasn't super bad. Wasn't like bad, but compared to 31, 30, 29, 28, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21.
Ass.
Ass. Ass.
I'm so sorry. We gotta call it for what it is. Ass.
And it gets crapped on because a lot of the meat of the card is iffy. But if there's one match that delivered that I think is underrated, it's the Intercontinental Championship ladder match.
Is there? I can't even really say what other match was worthy outside of this one.
I felt like WWE was finally giving Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, the reward he deserved.
Just for him to lose it on SmackDown the following week. He only held on to that belt for a couple of days and then lost it to The Miz on SmackDown. Come on, Chief.
Or getting over organically on the internet, because in 2012 they would not get that to him because he got over without Vince's permission. Sadly, they would bury him the next night on Raw, but this still was a great moment for all the marks to see. Like, we appreciated this for what we had, for how long we had it for. Like, this was big, and this was great for Zack Ryder. But yeah, man. Also, all the carnage that was happening around this, I feel like I was watching a WrestleMania Money in the Bank ladder match with how much spots there was in this match. So yeah, WrestleMania 33. I decided to pick for most underrated the Raw Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, and the reason why is because of great booking. I felt like Bayley going over was the right choice here because she was new. You had to legitimize her as a main event threat on a championship level, and she delivered in this match. She delivered. Plus, Nia Jax looked dominant because it took all three women pinning her to get her eliminated. And then Charlotte and Sasha is Charlotte and Sasha. But yeah, y'all get it. Yeah, I like this match in terms of work rate. Now, was 33 one of the best main of all time? Nah. It was good, but not one of the best all time. Like, not top 10, but still. There are some matches that don't get talked about that delivered, and this was one of them. WrestleMania 34. You know what other match match on this card that doesn't get talked about that I felt was pretty good? Because 34 was another pretty missable Mania, but you know what wasn't missable? Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Sami KO. I thought this was the story between them was well good because
this was definitely a good match. I was gonna say when the Hardy Boys returned for that tag team match, I thought that was gonna be the one, but okay. I agree with this one though.
Sami KO had been attacking people and trying to get on rosters and all that, and Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, who were the owner and GM of SmackDown, I feel like them allowing them to compete for a roster spot pretty much gave their story a lot of meat. Pause. But I like this match purely based off the work rate, and it proved that Daniel Bryan, despite missing a lot of time, because he had been inactive for about maybe 2-3 years. For about 2-3 years, Daniel Bryan proved that after retirement he still had it in this match, and Shane could still go too at 48 years old. Can you believe that? But yeah, man, great match. WrestleMania 35. We low-key had a dream match in here that was overshadowed by one of the premiere matches because I really liked AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, and it doesn't get talked about a lot. Like this match in terms of work rate was damn good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had never thought we would get.
I ain't gonna lie. What's this? I think this was Kofi. What's this, Kofi Mania? I believe this is Kofi Mania. Yeah. If this was Kofi Mania, then I only watched for Kofi Mania. I didn't care for the rest of the card at all. This is when I was completely out of wrestling, but I knew WrestleMania season was around the corner because the Royal Rumble was coming up. I watched the Royal Rumble, try to get caught up with everything, and then I would disappear for the rest of the year. I would not care. Bro, you couldn't pay me to watch wrestling around this time. I just couldn't do it. This was the first time in a long time I was distant from wrestling. Like, there was nothing in WWE, whether it was WWE or the uprising of AEW, nothing was going to get me back into wrestling. Like, I was good at this time.
You know, we thought we would never get this kind of match in a lifetime because you think that AJ would only be feuding with, you know, guys that are holding the belts and all that and all the newer stars, but nah. For much older versions of these two, we got as close to a classic as we could get from these two. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like these matches because of work rate. You know what I mean? And, you know, the right person won. AJ going over, great decision. WrestleMania 36, aka COVID Mania.
Couldn't watch this too much. It's just hard to listen to this with the. You can't watch no women matches with this, okay? You can't. It would sound like he was on one of those sites. It sounded like he was on one of them sites, bruh. You couldn't watch none of the women matches. This match you try to sit through Rhea versus Charlotte for the NXT Championship, and all you hear is. I couldn't watch it, bro. I was like, nah, I'm good. I still won't watch it.
I know I'm going to be in the minority in this one, but I like the Edge versus Randy Orton match. Yes, the sounds were awkward. Yes, it was hard to watch. But, man, they went everywhere around that Performance Center and tore that motherfucker down, okay? I'd be remiss if I said that this wasn't one of the better matches on the card. I know WrestleMania 36 doesn't work without crowds, but when I pay attention to work rate, this is one of the better work rate matches on there. The cinematic matches do blow this out of the water, but still, out of all the work rates, this probably is my favorite. And plus, Edge still had it post-retirement. You could tell. Plus, he was jacked over here. Like, do you see them abs? He never had those ever in his career. Anyways, going up for WrestleMania 37, I'm gonna give it to Riddle versus Sheamus because, for what it was worth, these two put on a decent matchup. Even though these two work rates weren't even high, they actually did some pretty good work here. You know.
I admit that this was a pretty good match, but you know, this is WrestleMania will only be for remember for one thing and one thing only.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
Goddamn right. That's all this WrestleMania should and forever should be known for, is because two black queens main evented night one of WrestleMania. That's all that matters to me. That's all that mattered to me.
There were some decent spots from Riddle, like this, what you're seeing, where he flies all over Sheamus, and then even how it ended with Sheamus bro kicked him while Riddle was upside down. That was good. Sheamus going over as the U.S. champion. To be honest, it was a win-win regardless of who won. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely breathed some new life into Sheamus' career, because Sheamus hadn't been really on shit since the League of Nations fell out, and you know his other stables fell out with who was it? With Cesaro in the bar. So it was nice to welcome him back to the singles division by capturing the United States title here. So yeah, great match. The most underrated match of WrestleMania 38 for me, it's I admit it was a hard decision because there were three matches in my mind. But if I had to pick only one, I'd have to give it to the women fatal four-way for the women's tag team titles.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
You already know.
Where Naomi and Sasha Banks did the unthinkable and captured the titles together. Now, I did not like what it turned into, but the work rate, pretty good. Carmella and Queen Zelina were bound to fall out. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley felt thrown together. Natalya, Shayna Baszler thrown together. This is the only legitimate tag team outside of Carmella and Zelina, Queen Zelina, that felt like a legitimate tag team. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that if Sasha didn't get her panties in a bunch, their title reign would have lasted way longer and they wouldn't have vacated the belts. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for the amount of work that the 14s were up to, I still was pretty impressed. And the right team won. Anyways, WrestleMania 39. I'm gonna give the females some more shine on this because I think the most underrated match is Damage Control versus Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Now,
I'm gonna say this: I would probably say one of the most underrated WrestleManias. Period. Not just the match, the entire show. Night one, night two. Underrated. I know a lot of people like to give 40. I understand 40. I completely understand 40. But 39 needs to be right next to 40 as one of arguably the best WrestleManias ever produced. Hands down. I understand 40. I completely understand that. but 39 needs to be right next to it.
Did Lita show a bit of ring rust? Sure. But the work rate between all three ladies, stuff for legend. It was clean. The spots were amazing. Trish Stratus still had it after all these years. And the right team won because slowly and surely, long before this, Damage Control was losing its steam, okay? And you knew at some point they would have to split up. So this was like the first nail in the coffin for Damage Control. That's why I put this match on here. But yeah, man. WrestleMania 40. I'm probably in a minority here again, but I think Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship was one of the best matches of the event. The work rate was amazing. A lot of spots.
I don't know about best, but it was good. It was good. It was up there. But best? Nah.
Like when Sammy did that suplex drop from the top rope, that was pretty good. Like Sammy had to do a lot to take down Gunther. You know what I'm saying? Because Gunther looked, damn near impossible to beat with that long, over 600-day reign of his Intercontinental Championship. And why not pass it off to a veteran who can pass it off to another young talent? You know what I'm saying? While you go and be in the main event. Like, this match was Gunther's coming out party of him going from the best mid-carder to one of the better main eventers. You know what I'm saying? And this was also a welcome back party for Sami Zayn, because Sami hadn't been in anything too important since his match against Roman Reigns, that one Elimination Chamber. So yeah, kudos to both men. Great work rate match. And lastly, WrestleMania 41, the most underrated match on here is Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the US belt.
I agree. I agree.
From spots here,
I agree.
This match was pretty high on the work rate meter, and plus the right person won this match. The right person won this match because LA Knight was gonna have a bit of a semi-main event run, even though he would never win a title. So he had to lose the United States Championship to somebody. And what better person to lose the U.S. Championship to other than Jacob Fatu, who was a brand new star at that point. He was a brand new superstar at that point. He already looks gruff, looks tough. You just had to believe. You just had to believe that he could carry, a mid-card belt to the best of his ability, knowing how much of history and background that he has, being a Fatu member, being an Anuahi member, and all that. You just had to, believe that, hey, this guy we already made this guy look vicious, so let's cap it off with him getting the title from one of our best workers in the business. And WWE cooked. But yeah, man. And for 42, we don't have an entry because it hasn't happened yet, but to review, most underrated matches, WrestleMania 16, 2-fall triple threat match for the European and Intercontinental belts. 17, hardcore triple threat. 18, the main event for the WWE Championship. 19, triple threat tag champion for the WWE Championships. 2 and 3 handicap match for WrestleMania 20. Eddie vs. Ray for 21. United States Championship match for 22. United States Championship match for 23. Belfast Brawl for 24. Brother vs. Brother Extreme Rules match for 25. World Heavyweight title match for 26. Orton vs. Punk at 27. WWE Championship match for 28. Shield versus Orton Sheamus show at
This is the one I don't agree with.
29. Shield versus New Age Outlaws and
I don't even know how you even put this on here. But I can't. I'm sorry, Maverick. I can't. Hey, brother. I can't, brother. No. I can't. Nah. This was probably the weakest one out of all of them that you put on here. This was probably the weakest one on here. I'm sorry, Maverick, but this match right here.
3 letters. 1 word. Ass.
United States Championship match 31. Intercontinental Championship ladder match for 32. Fatal 4-way elimination for Raw Women's Championship at 33. Daniel Bryan, Ryan and Shane O'Mac versus Sami KO at 34. Styles versus Orton at 35. Orton versus Edge, last man standing match 36. United States Championship match for 37. Fatal 4-way tag team match for the women's tag team titles.
Yes, sir.
38. 6-woman tag team match for 39. Intercontinental Championship match for 40. And the United States Championship match for 41. With that being said, guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell so never upload. Let's see you all next time for some more.
Alrighty, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one. Shout out to the homie Maverick again. With likes up the music, come subscribers up over there on his channel. And yeah, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one. Most definitely. Everything except for WrestleMania 30, bro. Everything except for WrestleMania 29 and 30. You was hitting, bro. But other than that, though, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Till then, deuces.